Riot added a new duelist to its roster, making a total of 24 agents, and it surely isn't stopping there. Today we take a look at ISO, the latest addition to Valorant's diverse range of agents. Here's everything you need to know about the new agent and his association with the protocol. Li Xiaoyu, aka ISO, hails from China, and from the trailer we can see that he works as an assassin for the Hourglass Company. Omen seems to have a vague recollection of the logo, but he can't seem to recall anything more than that. In the trailer, ISO hunts down targets assigned to him by his employer, or the so-called Hourglass Company. Apart from that, the trailer ends with his phone assigning Omen as his next target. Hence, we can confirm that he is a professional assassin, and judging by his reactions, he isn't the one selecting his targets. I know you're probably wondering, why Omen? Well, my theory is that from a company perspective, Omen is a liability, as he no longer remembers who he was and how he became the monster he is today. So it should be safe to leave him alone. The fact that he vaguely recognizes the hourglass symbol is a threat on its own. Even a remote chance that he might come back to his senses and remember the past would expose the Hourglass Company and what it's all about. Hence, ISO's been handed the task of taking down Omen to ensure the company's secrets remain hidden. ISO has been assigned the title, the Dead Lilac. Lilac is a flower, and all of his abilities seem to have the same purple shade as the lilac. For the dead part, we have a theory that suggests ISO could be Omen from the past. To learn more about it, head over to our channel and watch that video. While you're there, do subscribe for more lore and fan theories related to multiple games from around the world. We'll talk more about Omen and ISO later in this video. Taking into consideration that Omen might be a dead man walking, does the dead from the title, the Dead Lilac, have some reference to Omen's past? From everything we've talked about so far, this could be a strong possibility. Portrayed as a shadowy hitman with radiant skills, ISO looks like he's here for business, and his unique skill set as a duelist makes him the perfect fit for the job. The answer to one major question remains though: has he joined the protocol on his own? Or is he still on the hunt for Omen as per the Hourglass Company requirements? I hope the lore is that once he saw Omen on his phone as the next target, he decided to join forces with Omen by joining the protocol rather than taking him down. But hey, those are just my long-shot theories. Do you agree or not? Let us know in the comments section below. Okay, enough of ISO's purpose in the protocol. Let's take a look at what he's capable of. Let's take a look at all of ISO's abilities and try to link them with the protocol. You can't just walk into the protocol with guns and take down agents. Things here in the Valorant world work differently, and it's all about the unique abilities every agent has. So what abilities does ISO come equipped with? The first ability is Double Tap, giving ISO a temporary shield that allows him to peek his opponent first and not be damaged by the first hit. This only works for the first bullet or ability damage and is pretty straightforward to use. Next up we have Undercut. Just like Omen's Paranoia, this ability travels through objects and walls, temporarily stunning the enemies who are impacted, making them fragile. Speaking of Omen's Paranoia, I wonder why Riot had nerfed Omen's Paranoia speed in the past few months. Back in the day, Omen could flash at multiple speeds, depending on whether you stand still, walk, or run. Now, Omen's Paranoia only travels at one speed, and that's exactly how ISO's Undercut travels as well. I'll be honest, the moment I saw ISO's Undercut, I wondered whether Riot had nerfed Omen's Paranoia to accommodate his lore into the game. They've already made a change in one of Omen's voice lines by changing his name from Fred to Joe. This could have been another change as well. Again, this is a long-shot theory, but hey, you can't say it doesn't make sense. His third ability would be Contingency, and this is a wall that protects himself as well as his teammates from any damage taken from a bullet or an ability. In gameplay terms, this is a wall for you, W-Keep warriors, but from a lore perspective, this wall introduces a form of energy called prismatic energy. As far as I know, only Astra was able to create a wall that could protect teammates from bullets and ability damages, but now ISO has that in his arsenal as well. Finally, we have ISO's ultimate, which is called Kill Contract. As the name suggests, ISO pulls one of his enemies into a different dimension where he fights the opponent in a 1v1 battle arena. In this battle arena, we can once again see the use of prismatic walls in favor of ISO. In a previous email that Sage sent to Brimstone, you can read that Sage is informing Brimstone about ISO's ability to change Radianite into solid form. Besides that, Sage also calls him an architect and commends him for the arena he takes his opponent into, stating that he is an architect in the truest sense of the word. Sage compliments ISO. That sounds kinda interesting, knowing the fact that both of them are from China. To be honest, from all the information we have, I don't think that Sage knows much about ISO, apart from his skill set. But at the time, I feel ISO knows a lot about Sage, and the fact that both of them are from the same country. Why would ISO call Sage his senior? The term senior signifies a sign of respect, as well as the possibility that he was learning a thing or two from Sage.
Few resurrections. Lead the way, Sage. Sage is down. 逼不得已，原谅我，前辈。
From all the voice lines we have access to, ISO seems to mention his grandmother a lot. There's a voice line in which he says everything he does is to make his grandmother proud, suggesting that being an assassin doesn't mean you have to forget about family. It might mean that you are doing it for your family.
奶奶, I did this to make you proud. My grandmother always told me, don't forget the spike.
In the ISO lore video we released earlier, we proposed the idea that Omen could be ISO. I was going through the comments and I came across one that suggests Omen might even be the father of ISO. As crazy as it might sound, there is a strong possibility for Omen being his father as well. Why I bring this up is because of the fact that if ISO has to talk about his grandmother so much, it does suggest that he was a family guy. His undercut ability is similar to Omen, as previously stated, so there might be a family lore there. Who knows? The only confirmation so far is that Omen was sent as a target to be assassinated, and ISO didn't look as happy about it. In an ISO-Omen interaction voice line, you can hear ISO say that he knows about Omen, and he even tells Omen that whatever he's heard about himself is true.
Omen, everything they said about you is true.
How would ISO know about Omen? Are they the same person meeting up in a different dimension? Are they family? Is the grandmother ISO keeps referring to Omen's mom itself? The list of questions keeps going on. I can't wait for further voice lines to break this down. Digging into more voice lines, ISO listens to a ton of music, and this one even suggests that while we are fighting with ISO, he's actively listening to a playlist.
Just as my playlist ends.
Apart from that, you can see a gun buddy in the shape of a wireless earphone, suggesting that music is an important aspect of ISO's life. I also feel that since music is so important to ISO, he might have a history of partying hard, which is where he might have met Raze, who already has a history of partying and dancing like there's no tomorrow.
A good fight is like a dance, and no one dances harder than Raze. Deadlock, remind me later to return the book I borrowed. It's terrifying.
What we can gather from this line is that ISO probably knows Deadlock because he claims to have borrowed the book from Deadlock. Think about it. Why would one borrow a book from a stranger? Also, you can hear him saying this after winning a round and eliminating Deadlock.
Go. Be with your sisters.
Go be with your sisters, which means that he knows about Deadlock's sisters being dead. Those are pretty much the only real lines you can hear between ISO and Deadlock, but it is enough and more for us to gather conclusions. Both of them are familiar with each other because of the book exchange, and ISO knows about Deadlock's sisters. All these hints suggest that ISO and Deadlock are good friends. Personally, I've been having a blast creating these lore videos. I've been playing the game since beta, and only recently did I start exploring the story behind each character. There's so much being introduced with every act and update. It's like a whole new world. Well, that's it for this lore video. Hope to see you all in the next one. Until then, peace!